Hi, Moriah from Mogility here. In this YouTube channel from Mogility, we will walk through SAFe and other agile topics. In this video, we will be talking through what is SAFe. The topics we're going to get into today are what is SAFe, what benefits does it provide, roles and ownership, and lastly, PI planning. So what exactly is SAFe? Scaled Agile Framework was created in 2011 by Dean Leffingwell. And the general premise of Scaled Agile Framework is to provide a template that goes on top of the existing hierarchy. So this isn't about shuffling the hierarchy of the entire organization around. This is about providing a set of principles, values, mindsets, and synchronization practices that fit on top of the existing organizational hierarchy. And what this ends up doing is connecting all of the areas within an organization through cohesion and cadence. But additionally, SAFe provides lean budgets that sit on top of all of this to ensure that the company is going in the right direction in regard to their budgets. So what are the benefits of SAFe? In my experience, these are some of the benefits I've seen. So the budgetary guardrails are extremely important for an organization. All of us who own a business or who work at a business, we are there to do what? Make money. And for us to make money, we have to be really cognizant of the money that we're putting into the things that we do. Because if our spend is higher than our gain, then we're probably going to go out of business. So these budgetary guardrails are set in place to ensure that companies are continually thriving. The next thing I have listed here is role definition. Sometimes it is so confusing to understand what your role is in a specific team, company, or organization. And the reason is because we often use the same terms when we are posting job descriptions. However, sometimes the job description itself doesn't really match up to what's expected from us. So with SAFe, there are very clearly defined roles of the people who are required to get work done and their role in all of the aspects to get the work complete. And it leaves a lot less ambiguity. And with a lot less ambiguity, you're not sitting there scratching your head, but instead you're diving into the work and you're getting things done faster. The next thing to call out is the faster time to market. When teams are thriving, when teams understand what's expected of them, when they have a clear insight into the vision, we're able to get things out the door faster. Additionally, in another video I talk about how to break stories down because small batch sizes go through the system faster. So yes, there's the component of working better together through the principles, the mindset, and the core values. Yet there's another component to this where it's if you're breaking your work down, then you're going to get it through the system faster because there's less complexity, there's less unknowns, there's less volume. The next thing is the alignment amongst the entire organization, and this is huge. If anyone watching this video has heard of Agile, I'm sure you're very familiar with the fact that Agile focuses heavily on the Agile teams themselves. The difference with Scaled Agile is that it works with the entire organization. It provides insight to those who are in finance, who are in marketing, who are in sales, and even human resources on how we can work together as an entire unit to get the best output to our customers. The next thing is autonomy. Autonomy is the one thing that most people look for in every job because we are humans and we like to feel as if we are empowered to make decisions and to move forward without a bunch of overhead, without a bunch of micromanagement. And SAFe provides a framework that allows you to do that. And because of the autonomy, because of the alignment, because of the role definition, what you get are more engaged and happier employees. And if you ever worked anywhere where people are really excited about what they do, you can agree with me whenever I say those people are getting the best work out the door faster with more innovation than any other company. And the reason is because people are excited. They're excited because they have onus in everything that they do. The last thing is the customer-centric organization. It creates a more satisfied customer. Whenever your company is focused on the customer and their day-to-day, it provides a product that customers are excited about, customers look forward to, and you retain customers and gain new customers more than companies that are not doing this. So when I was talking about those roles and responsibilities, I do want to jump into some of the common roles and the ownership that you see within Scaled Agile framework that might differ a bit from a traditional Agile world. So I'm only going to introduce a few of these roles, as my assumption is that you're familiar with Agile. If you're not familiar with Agile and you would like some more information, you can always reach out to me at mogilitytraining.com and I would be happy to help. So the first role is a Solution Train Engineer, or STE. So the Solution Train Engineer is the individual who prepares the solution delivery across multiple Agile release trains. If you want more information on the Agile release trains topic, you can always look at scaledagilephramawork.com, or again, you can look at my website and you can reach out to me directly. But additionally, the Solution Train Engineer will conduct PI planning across all of these release trains. They coordinate the solution delivery. And lastly, they measure progress throughout the Agile release trains. They improve by providing coaching and suggestions to the teams. And next is the Release Train Engineer, or RTE. So the Release Train Engineer is very similar to the Solution Train Engineer. However, the focus for the Release Train Engineer is one single Agile release train. And this individual would establish and communicate annual calendars for PI planning and iterations, as all of the teams that are within an Agile release train follow the same cadence. Additionally, they would facilitate the PI planning event. And lastly, they would coach the Scrum Masters, the leaders, and the teams. This person is solely focused on the success of the Agile release train that they are representing. Next is the Solution Architect. This individual will create and communicate a technical and architectural vision for the entire solution train. So this would be multiple Agile release trains. Next is the System Architect. This individual would provide a technical and architectural vision for a single Agile release train. And the last role that is probably new, if you are not familiar with Scaled Agile Framework, is Epic Owners. So this is a little tricky because this is not a role itself. However, this is a position of ownership, a position of responsibility. So this could be a part of someone's job, but this is not their sole job. And what they do is they define an epic, which is at the solution level. And these things are very large. They could take a year or more to complete. And what they do is they create a minimum viable product, which shows at the smallest amount of work what would be value to a customer. Additionally, they create a lean business case that provides information and insight about how much this would cost to push through the system, and also how much we can anticipate to gain if this is something that we provide to our customers. Additionally, once the epic is approved by the Lean Portfolio Management, the LPM, they would facilitate the implementation of the epic itself. The next topic that I want to go through is PI planning. PI planning is that cadence-based synchronization that SAFe introduces so that way all teams within a single Agile release train are planning at the same time. So typically this happens every 10 to 12 weeks with multiple iterations inside of that. This would include everyone that's in the art who's required to get that value out the door to the customer. So this is not just the engineering teams. We would see product management in this, we would see individuals from sales, we would see individuals from support teams, any person who would be required to ensure that the customer sees the full value of what we're providing to them at the end of the PI is required in this PI planning. And this practice provides transparency, collaboration, and a common goal for teams as we move forward. So typically, if you look at Scaled Agile Framework's website, you will see that the agenda for this is set for 2 days. However, this is for co-located teams. And traditionally, what I have seen or recommended is about a week for dispersed teams. I will say the caveat to that is it depends on the time zones. If you don't have multiple time zones that you have to consider, then it's a little easier to get this done faster. My recommendation, based on my experience, is that product management should target being ahead of the rest of the teams whenever you go into PI planning. So essentially, the features that are going to be brought into the current PI planning session, they should have stories and estimates for those stories. I would say about 80% of the stories that are required for the feature to be completed in the program increment, those stories should be built out and estimated as well as they can. Because what you don't want to happen is not give your teams enough time to get this done properly, because this really sets the pace and the success for the quarter. And the last thing on here that I want to call out is that planning never ends. As soon as you're done with your PI planning session and the teams have their work in their iterations in the specified system of record, the release train engineer, solution train engineer, and the architects, as well as product management, which includes UX, are all working to ensure that the work for the next PI is groomed and planned out in such a way that the teams can just pull it right into the PI planning session without a lot of ambiguity. I hope this video was helpful. Again, this was Moriah with Mogility, where we provide content related to Agile and Safe.